Coast City Marina's Gold Coast to Mackay Yacht Race for 2026, the third running of this fantastic event. It's a dream event, downwind sailing all the way in tropical warm waters. My name's Jordan Spencer. I'm the host of the show for you today and hope you enjoy our coverage. I'm joined by my wonderful friend Daniel Hutchison, who is, I guess, this is your home club. We're at Southport Yacht Club. We're filming this. You've grown up. You've done everything off the waters here, and you know nearly everybody in this fleet, my friend.
I am, and thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be back here. I've spoken to a lot of the crews on the welcome days. There's a lot of excitement about this race. It's a stunning day here on the Gold Coast, so I think we'll be really in for a special treat for today's race.
I actually feel quite guilty, Daniel, because I've dragged you in onshore when, literally we have a race with perfect conditions about to unfold. It would be very hard for you to be sitting here and not going sailing. I feel it.
It's very hard. I've watched all the crews wander down to their boats. The last final packings have gone on, and I said today is a stunning day. There's not a cloud in the sky, and that breeze will hopefully pick up a little as the day goes on. It's difficult to watch them and say goodbye, but I'm very excited to see how the day pans out for each of them.
For all the spectators joining us, what we're talking about is the racing starts directly off Cavill Avenue of
yes, Surfers Paradise.
Surfers Paradise. It's going to be a spinnaker start. The race course is basically leave Australia to the left.
Keep going.
And go to Mackay. It's just as simple as that. The wind is, we're expecting 15 to 20 knots southeasterlies today, and it just freshens as the days go on. So all the crews are very excited. It's the middle of winter. Everyone's up here in shorts and T-shirts. It's
going to be a dream day. If you're on the beach, check it out because the spinnakers are going to be beautiful. You'll see those kites go up from the start. I expect it to be quite a quick start, and they're going to be heading north. Keep Australia on the left, and let's see you in Mackay. The party's waiting, I hear.
That will be quite good. We're also joined on the water by another, a very happy person who loves his sailing. He's like Russ. He gets into everything.
You never know when Hayden's going to pop up next. So he's always jumping from one boat to the next. He's probably been on most of the boats in today's race.
He absolutely has. And he's going to be joining a few of the boats that he'll go up and do rest of the race week up north. But so Hayden Barney is our on-water commentator. We're hoping that we'll be able to cross to him when it's available. But he's going to give us a taste of conditions. We can actually see from the on-water camera shot as we look out there, the wind is up. It looks like, as we expected, 15 to 20 knots. It always looks lighter on camera, so for those watching, that looks pretty good wind already.
It looks really good. They're heading south at the moment, so it's going to be a little bit bumpy for them as they head down to the start line. Mm-hmm. Once they turn around, once they get down into the starting box, you'll start to see a few more sails come up and a bit more manoeuvres to start to pick their angles.
Yeah, when we get Hayden, we'll just have a look at the start line layout and get a view of where he thinks the best tactics are. What are the considerations, Daniel, before the race? As a person that has done this many times, you had your own boat. That's how we became friends. You dragged me onto your boat one day.
Yeah, good old blunderbuss. She was a great boat. We did very well. We had a lot of fun on her.
Had a lot of fun. So what are the things you've got to think about when you're getting ready for a race like this? You're going offshore.
A lot of our crews, safety will be priority one to make sure that everyone's got all the right gear, and the race committee have ensured that there's a lot of compliance done. They'll be looking at provisioning. A lot of the boats, although we expect probably the bigger boats to get in a day or two, you've got provisioning and you're sleeping to work out your routine, who's going to manage your boat. There's a lot to do with the navigation. Mm-hmm. There's a few trains of thought whether we stay inshore or whether we go offshore. Mm-hmm. Depending on the style of boat you've got, that's going to play into it, especially over the next few days, depending on what the weather comes as it freshens up. Those things, and sail configuration will be the other one. As we get more breeze, it looks a lot of boats have still got their full sails up, which is great to see. But as we go into the evening and that breeze comes up, we may see people put reefs in, and it's a real balance between pushing the boat and not going too far.
That's a really great call. So that's the difference between offshore and onshore racing. With the strategy piece is not just the weather, the conditions, but also survivability. You know, you are offshore, so you want to make sure that the boat actually makes it through. You know, you could hit a lump of wave, or you could hit a whale, or there's all sorts of things.
Whales will be a massive consideration. They were last year, and we know that they are out there. Everyone's usually really keen to start off today, but as we go into tonight, tomorrow, and Friday night, crews may start to get a little tired, get a little bit weary. The early hours in the morning is usually when things may start to go a bit wrong. So it'll be up to the skippers and crews to manage how they're going to get through each night, and still obviously push the boat to get the best result.
Well, I can see Hayden out there on the on-water shot. So I reckon we might try and go out and see the great man. So Hayden Barney, as I said, he's out there on the water for us. Hayden, you got us, bud?
As you said.
We've got no audio for Hayden at the moment. We'll just come back to you in a sec, Hayden. Maybe you need to turn. And so we'll just come back into him, but we'll look at that start line layout. From your perspective, Danielle, the start is critical, but not so much critical as a small inshore race, but getting that start right, positioning on the line. Yep. We know it's a reaching start, spinning because we're going up.
Yep.
What are the concerns? I won't hit you with this strategy because you haven't seen the layout of the line, but what are the concerns when you're setting up for that start? There's some rules that come into play.
Yeah, you really want to make sure that you've got a bit of clean air and that you're not going to get pushed up, or you're going to or another boat's going to really sort of mess with your strategy. Mm-hmm. So you want to try and find a place on the start where you can get away cleanly and on time. So making sure that there's a bit of space between all the other competitors, so you can really, pop that kite and head north.
Tim Pritchard ringing.
You got me there, Jordan?
So that's going to be quite a serious consideration, obviously. So because the boats to windward have to give way to the boats to leeward, there's no buoy room at a starting mark. That means that you can push someone out and around a mark.
And you really want to be aware of that, because you don't want to get yourself in a position where you're going to have to do either a jibe to get out of it, to comply with all the sailing instructions and the race rules. So that's the navigators will be really trying to line that one up, and their timing will be paramount as well. You really want to be on that when the flags come down. We really on that marks.
We'll try for Hayden again. I can see him out in the middle of the ocean. He's bouncing around. So I'll just see Hayden. If you can hear me, my friend. What's it look like out there? Give us a sense of the conditions and the starting line layout, if that's available at the moment.
Yeah, Jordan, I can hear you good, but it's pretty bumpy out here. It's only expected to get worse. So it's
we're just missing Hayden's audio. So I think Hayden's hearing me, but we're not hearing you, Hayden. Just so you know. But judging by the way you're bouncing, is it? If you can hear us, give us a thumbs up, Hayden, just so we know. You're hearing me? Yeah, okay, copy. So we're just not getting you on audio, buddy, but we're getting a sense of the conditions. Do the conditions look good to you, Hayden? Give us a thumbs up if you're happy. No, he's gone.
I can see there's a lot of boats coming out there at the moment.
Okay.
I can see the boats are all heading down there. We've got a couple returning from last year, which is great to see. So welcome back to those competing last year. Mm-hmm. Antipodes, I think I can see out there at the moment. They're on their way down. It looks like we've also got Black Diamond. So it's the anticipation on board will be starting to build, because at this point here, all the crews they're committed. There we go, Black Diamond.
Black Diamond. We'll probably
Glenn Burrell's the owner and skipper of this boat, and I've sailed with him for many, many years. It's a fantastic crew, and he's got some great people on board this year. He will also be in the hunt.
It's kind of the perfect boat for these conditions, this one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I think we're going to try and reach out to Glenn on the water as well and have a bit of a chat. But this race is his baby, isn't it?
Yes, Glenn's been instrumental in putting this race together from the start. He's been involved and been advocating it for many years. It's really good to see that it's finally come to fruition. I'd love to see him win. I do have a bit of a soft spot for them. He's always been very supportive, and I wish them all the best and fair winds on the way north. I wish I could wave to them, actually.
I love it. So it's a GP42. This thing is very quick downhill. What it wants is lots of wind downwind, and this thing will go way faster than bigger boats. So
I think you'll be all hanging out the back corner to like once this kite goes up. Yep. No, they'll be definitely one to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
In our tracking.
Cool. As I said, we'll try and cross to them. We've got a plan to give them a call. Everything works in theory, but you can see the way they're bouncing around. It is a little rough. There's a lot of work being done on that boat. There's a few boats that will be favoured in these conditions, and we'll touch on them as the race goes on. From a strategy perspective, we have to discuss the current.
This will be a big one coming into this year's race. I'm sure all the skippers, and it was covered at the race briefing this morning, that there is a huge current around the top of Kagari, which I don't know which way people are going to go. They're going to stay in close, head out wide. For me, I probably would have stayed in close, but there will definitely be some people who want to cross that EAC and try and pick up that northern chute across the top into Mackay. And it'll be interesting strategy to see who picks who and which way actually pays off depending on the boats. We've got a huge range of boat sizes this year. So we've got obviously Wild Thing at the top end as a 100-footer, and then we've got our little 30-footers.
So well, Wild Thing is an interesting one because 100-footer, it's a little light on keel weight, so it doesn't like going upwind too much, but it does make it very, very fast downwind.
Yes.
And we've got exactly that. And Wild Thing has one line on us for both editions of the race so far. It's pretty. You'd have to imagine they're a favourite for line honours this edition.
I would think that they would be, and this year I think we may even be in for a new race record. They didn't win last year, but the first year they were very quick, and this year I suspect that we could be looking for a new race record, which is very exciting for all the Wild Thing team, and indeed for the race itself.
So the race record is 1 day, 11 hours, 35 minutes, 59 seconds.
Yeah.
So that basically means tomorrow night, 10:30 odd PM, is when they need to be finished by. I've had a look at some of the weather modelling, and at the moment, the last weather model I saw for Wild Oats is that she gets in at 7 PM tomorrow night.
Which will be an incredible effort. That's going to wipe quite a few hours off the race record. I think, speaking to Grant Warrington on Tuesday, we may have the opportunity between sunset at 7 p.m. Is a very real possibility that Mackay will be welcoming the first boat in tomorrow afternoon. Yeah.
Okay. I think we're very close to being able to cross to Glenn Burrell, who is the former Commodore of the Southport Yacht Club.
Yes.
Is the skipper of
Black Diamond. Yes.
And
very good friend of mine, and he's been sailed across this part of the world for a lot of years.
So, Glenn, can you hear us at the moment, my friend? We can see we've got a good view of Glenn. They're tacking at the moment, so we're just watching him go through a tack.
They will be needing to tack on the way down to get to the start line. Obviously, being a southerly breeze, you can see all the boats there as sort of.
We got you, Glenn. Can you hear us, my friend? Hello, Glenn. Okay, he's got to go.
No surprise there. There's a lot going on as we count down to the start of the Gold Coast City race. He will certainly be trying to get everyone organised. So apologies, we couldn't get that one.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll dive into it. So Glenn, as we said, he is the past commodore of this yacht club that we're starting the race from. We're heading to Mackay, the beautiful Mackay. There's got some amazing things going on down there. We're 40 minutes from a start. What we'll do, we've got we've got some pre-race interviews that we can throw to, and we're going to keep trying to go onto the water for you. At the moment, you can see in the background there, that shot is the beautiful Gold Coast Skyway. So they're heading down towards straight off Surfers Paradise for the start. And if you're in Cavill Avenue, you've just strolled out of the nightclubs and you look out over the water, you'll see a start.
Keep an eye out them. We've got 25 boats on the start today. There's going to be, it will be a beautiful start. They all have different coloured spinnaker. You're not going to miss it. I would highly recommend that if you are down in Surfers Paradise, pop out with your coffee and have a look at these 25 boats heading to Mackay today. You couldn't have asked for a better day. In all honesty, this is pristine conditions.
It is perfect conditions. Very jealous of the sailors heading to the north. So they connect up. Obviously, they head into Mackay, and then that leads on to a series of major events up in tropical North Queensland, which is Airlie Race Week and Hamilton Island Race Week. Both fantastic events to be involved with, and so it's a no-brainer. Some of these boats have just done the Sydney
Gold Coast.
To the Gold Coast, Sydney Southport, and heading in now. So, in reality, it is a perfect sort of setup for these sailors. You know, like they get to sail from Sydney and then race back up to race here, and then go and do a couple of fantastic race weeks.
It really does line up, and this is where Glenn's been quite instrumental to get as many boats on the East Coast here to start, give them a reason to come up and do these fantastic races. The East Coast of Australia is a stunning part of the world, and they're heading all the way up to Hamilton Island.
Yeah. So one of the things, of course, is as they race in this strong wind conditions, there's going to be a lot of waves. The waves will start to jack up in certain elements, especially if it's wind against tide. So when we talk about that current coming down from K'gari, and it's running it up to 2 knots in spots, this is why the waves are starting to jack up here, because it's wind against tide, so the water's going to get quite steep. And so it is going to be quite lumpy initially. And then across the paddock, as we call it, once you go across the top of K'gari, there could be some major swell running by the time they get to there.
Correct. And it's going to prove a little bit difficult to be able to manage whether or not you stay in and work with the tide, or the breeze is due to freshen. So maybe that will be the prevailing condition, and people will stay inside, waiting for that breeze to come in. Okay.
So on screen there is Touche 42, but one of the boats that we are interested in hearing from is the South Australian team. So we've got people that have come from interstate to do this event, obviously a lot of Queensland boats, but we've got the team from Clockwork who've come from Adelaide to compete in this race. And I think they were in the inaugural race, so this is not their first time.
Well, 2 years ago we did the whole loop from Adelaide up to Melbourne and all the way up to Magnetic Island, and down to Hobart and back home to Adelaide. That was a bit too much to do 2 years in a row, so last year we just did across to Melbourne for Australian Women's Keelboat Regatta and back, and then around up to Sydney, Hobart and home. But this year we're doing the full 8 months going everywhere campaign, and we're also adding in Townsville Women's Regatta on the end, up there. But we started in the inaugural Gold Coast to Mackay race, but we did the Gold Coast to Stradbroke Island, break the rudder and back to Southport race. That was our version. So we are really looking forward to getting Clockwork all the way to Mackay. this year. That's the plan. Oh, we just like racing. We like putting different bunches of people together in crews, and racing, or even doing the deliveries between are really fun. And the regattas are really fun as well. We're doing the regattas up north as well. We like to participate all around the place. When we first got Clockwork, we thought we'd do the Hobart, that's why we got it. And we thought, well, we should do Hamo. And then we found out there were a couple of races that were trucking up that way. So we thought, let's do that. And that was the inaugural run. So that was cool to be a part of that. We just would have liked to have been a longer part of it that year. But I must say, Gold Coast City Marina were absolutely incredible. They got us fixed up really, really, really fast. We managed to do a quick delivery up to Airlie Beach, and we only missed one day of racing up at Airlie Beach, which is really fantastic. So we think they're incredible.
So Marianne Harvey there from the team at Clockwork. They did sail in 24, but of course they didn't make it through day one. They broke their rudder, that's right, I remember that now. So hopefully they wish for a much more successful time. I can see out in the ocean the young fella, Hayden Barney.
Hopefully we've found him again.
What's it like out there, Hayden?
Have you got us there now? It's pretty bumpy, as you can see. We're definitely got a little wet running out the start line, but no, it's going to be a ripping start. It's going to be awesome for all the teams out here. I don't think there's going to be a boat that's disappointed in this. It could lead to a bit of a cooler night, but I'm sure they've all got their gear ready to go for that, and then it'll get a bit warmer tomorrow as they head closer to the Whitsundays. But just through our background, we've had Vixen, we've had Yeah Baby, we've got Miu close by as well. Been past Clockwork, V5. I'll be on with them at Hamilton Island Race Week, which I'm looking forward to, and double Black Diamond, which I managed to jag a twilight sail with them a couple months ago. So yeah, it's definitely looking like a good run down the coast, and looking forward to seeing some spinnakers at the start. Back to you, Jordo.
Thanks, mate. Hayden, I think it was a little broken up. I'm not sure how it came across on the broadcast, but he did mention a few of the boats and how he had been sailing on some of those boats. And he mentioned Miu, which is one of the multi-hulls competing. So there's several multi-hulls competing in the regatta. So Miu is built on the Sunshine Coast, a Cure 55.
Cure 55, yes.
Yeah, full carbon. Yep. Very shiny boat, that one. So
I suspect the Maltese will also have a really good run. They're going to. This is very much their conditions.
Very happy
they
place.
don't generally like going upwind.
No.
So being a reaching and downhill race, the Maltese and the Trimarans would definitely they'll be quick off the start. I don't think you'd want to get in the way of them.
Well, I have maybe become a multi-convert, Danielle.
Oh dear, going to the dark side, are we?
I did the Gold Coast to Brisbane on a multi this year, and it was very enjoyable. So it is possible. The other multi-hull that we've got, of course, going is Ocean's Tribute. It's a trimaran. Very competent crew on that one. So the skipper there, Guy Chester, won the line honours for the Trans-Tasman race just been run. So
correct. It'll be fantastic. I'm glad they came to join us this year. So I think we need to. It's nice to expand into the multi-hull racing. These guys won't be falling over sideways on the way down. They'll probably have their coffee going, and they'll be very comfortable. I suspect.
That's exactly what it is. You know, you don't have to sit on the rail, and you can walk around, get your meal, have a coffee, and trim your sails and go fast. It's fast.
It's a comfortable, fast way to travel.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can see a few more Maltese next year.
So if we're talking about that, which boat are you interested in? Would you want to be going up to Mackay on right now?
That's a tough call.
Mm-hmm.
My family used to own a catamaran, so I have to say I have been to both sides.
Yep.
And the catamarans are definitely a quick way, especially these guys that are so light and fast. So it's a bit of a tough call between the two of them. Although I think any of your monohulls will slice through some of the standing up waves a bit better.
Yeah, well, we've got some great talent across the field. So one of the crew's boats is Wild Oats 10, and we might even have an interview with Wild Oats 10. So when I walked in, I saw some of the all-time greats of Australian sailing walking out, and I've gone, oh, they're all wearing Wild Oats 10 shirts. Some great mates of mine. And so there's a real, it's a storied vessel. It's a Rykel Pew 66. It would like upwind, downwind. It's quite narrow, so power reaching's not in its favour, but boy, it's stacked with crew. So let's see if we've got that pre-recorded interview and we can go and hear from them.
This is their first race, so I'm really glad to see them up here. That's, welcome.
Well, we've normally been sailing the big boat, so we go straight past Southport and do the other races, go to Brisbane, but we're on the 10, the 66, so we can get into the Southport, and Sandy Yacht said, let's go and do this race, so here we are.
I think it's really nice to see this race on the calendar. Obviously it's in its third edition now, but a great addition to the Australian sailing calendar. Great timing with the journey north for Hamilton Island Race Week, which is the final destination of our trip north this year. And we've got a really excited crew, really motivated crew, great owners. The Oatley family are just wonderful people, obviously very influential in the sailing world, and a great family to sail for. So excited to be here. Looks like a pretty quick back end of the race, doesn't it, Paul?
Yeah, hope so. No, it's looking good. I think it's routing showing, one day 11 hours or something for us at those, so that's quick. That'll be good, and BMG downwind, hopefully that might, this good little boat should suit it, I think. Well, she's not young, it's 20 years old now, or 2004, so 22. But, the Oatleys always working on their boats, always prep them really well. We're lucky enough to work for, a family that really loves their sailing and loves to prep a boat the right way. So, for an old boat, it's very current and a lot of fun to sail. It's just a good size and goes really well.
So that Wild Oats 10 was part of the Oatley family who have been so good for Australian sailing over so many years. And they're actually a sponsor. Their island, Hamilton Island, where Hamilton Island Race Week is one of the gold sponsors and supporters of this event, as is Mackay Regional Council and Mackay Marina Village, where a lot of the fun will be happening throughout the day. The event is brought to us by Gold Coast City Marinas, where your business is based, Danielle, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a great facility for people into the...
It's a massive facility here in Australia. It's probably one of the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere. It's actually where Clockwork went when they had that mishap. They actually went up there and got all their work done. Mm-hmm. So they do all hard stands. There's over 90 businesses up there. So Gold Coast City Marina, recently taken over by Dalbora, is they offer all the services, including the keel pit, to all the racing yachts. So it's definitely worthwhile stopping in if you need to have work done on your East Coast race program, or if you're heading up to Hamilton Island.
Cool. I agree with you. It is definitely the one. So the distance for this race is 520 nautical miles. We talked about the race record being 1 day, 11 hours, 35 minutes. Smoking along doing that. We're probably going to go under that, we suspect. There's a few boats that have gone quite well in that. One of the boats that while we're talking about the race record, is a Wild Thing 100, which has done an amazing part. And we've got a person off that boat, a man by the name of Nigel Abbott. And for those who have not heard of Nigel Abbott, he is one of the absolute superstars of sailing. He was an idol of mine when I was growing up. So I did race against him a couple of times as a young loaf. And it is a great joy to be able to have a chat to Nigel Abbott on Wild Thing 100. So let's... Are you there, Nigel?
Yeah, it's Jordan. It's Nige here. How you going?
Good, mate. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, we're all doing really well, funny enough, and what a great day to be thinking about doing this race. We've got totally clear skies, a little bit more breeze than we expected, which is, how normally they say there's going to be plenty of breeze and there isn't, so we prefer this scenario. So we're looking forward to a wonderful slide downhill.
You've gone the lightweight program for this slide downhill, so you've researched the weather well. You've got only 12 on board for a 100-footer, which is incredible. You guys got a lightweight keel on that boat. This boat is very much happy with the conditions, Nigel, I would suggest.
Yeah, I love your compliments for us, because I don't think it was designed that way to have 12 on board. And then also when you divide it in half for the various ships, that you don't have a lot of people left to do things. But we're under the impression that there's going to be a lot of, not much jibing and so forth, certainly hopefully no tacking whatsoever. And yes, if you tailored it perfectly, we would have the right configuration, okay?
Yep. Now your relationship with the Grant Warrington, I reckon, Nigel, I can remember you and Grant doing the FD World Champs in Newport, Rhode Island in about 1991. How's that for a memory?
That'd be about right. And he regards himself as having been the smallest FD crew in the world. And I do remember there was a wonderful episode of Bar Karate where we had, there we go, mates all about to creep up again here.
Okay.
Where the joke was that Warro's pretty good at the cutting and shutting, and he should have cut and shut himself for the FD, I would have thought. Would have been a great idea. I think it was your line.
Indeed. That was a good line. If I came up with it, I'm proud. You don't think he's trying to overcompensate with this boat, mate? Being a small crew, he's got a bigger boat.
Listen, some ego issues there. I think we all know that. But look, he knows the boat backwards. See a bit of maintenance starting to happen here.
Yeah.
He knows the boat backwards, and there's a number of us have done the full lap for the last year of racing, so we're in good hands. Yeah,
I can see the great David Turton standing just behind you in shot, and one of my great friends. And so we'll leave you there, mate. We wish you well. I think the race record's in play. What do you reckon?
I'd say absolutely. I quite like a downhill slide, and can we order that for the home as well, please? I'm sure you have the power.
Yep, absolutely got the power, mate. Nigel Abbott, it's an absolute joy to see you, mate. It's been many years since I've seen your face, and so it is great to see you. Have a great trip to the north.
I should have a chat, and say just in summary, Mainsail's about halfway up now. We just fiddle with a few of the batten pockets to make sure we don't do any damage. We hate damage, and she's sailing from here, I hope.
All right, good luck to you guys.
Fair winds, guys.
Thank you. Ciao.
Absolute joy there. So, as I said, that man is one of the great sailors in Australian history. He's so talented, so talented.
He's on a very quick boat. I think he'll be first into Mackay for sunset drinks tomorrow.
On speaking of talented sailors, on screen there is Saltwater Wine. That is Newcastle Yacht Club boat. It's owned by Tommy Woods, the great Tommy Woods. From memory, was the 1984 505 world champion with Dean Blatchford, and he was sailing it with his son. There looks like our friends from Ocean Tribute's on screen now. So Ocean Tribute is the one that won the Trans-Tasman event that we were talking about. But, so Saltwater Wine is one that I think will go quite well. It's a JPK.
Yes.
Set
very
up well,
quick.
likes a breeze. Likes a breeze. He's got what he wants.
And it is due to freshen as today goes through, as we see the day come through. So I think it'll be very quick. And I said there's a lot of talented sailors on board.
Definitely a lot of talented. Even got their own sailmaker on board. So got Polly on board. So Peter McNeil from McNeil Sails down in Newcastle. So another very talented sailor from Etchell Champion. Very talented sailors on board there. So that looks like a TP52. I'm going to say that was Koa that we just had in shot.
Looks like Koa.
Koa
from Sydney.
Yeah, they've come exactly that, and they've done this race before. I think they were second online on us last year, third overall on IRC.
Yes, they'll be looking to improve their race this year.
Mm-hmm.
And again, with the freshening breeze, they should like that as well.
Okay.
Here's our trimaran that's also looking to line up for the start.
So this is perfect for them as well, because as you alleged before, that they're going upwind. A trimaran's better going upwind than a catamaran, but they have to. That no one's going upwind for this whole race, and so
Hopefully, no one's going upwind. That is definitely the wrong direction if we are.
pretty good regatta for if you're a bow person or a mast person.
Yes,
not as much work.
Not as much work, and you should be out of the water as well.
Yeah, it's
so
not gonna
you
get
may
too
stay
wet.
dry all the way up.
Yep. So we're probably 20 minutes from kicking off the race and getting a start. That looks like our friends on Touche 42, which is
We've also got Ocean's Tribute there.
Oh, Ocean's Tribute on screen. I see coming up. Sorry, I'm looking at we're still on Ocean's Tribute.
We should make mention there that the OMR Multi-Hull Perpetual Trophy,
Oh, yes.
Jamie Morris,
Yes.
he's actually sailing on board.
So it's Jamie who has a trophy named after him. Actually can win the trophy, do you think?
Yeah, well, quite possibly. quite possible. That'll be a... he's definitely in the running to win the OMR Perpetual Trophy for this year. So all the best to Ocean's Tribute. And like I said, they should enjoy their race.
I think that's I'm just trying to see what's coming up on screen next, so I can see a few different shots. I reckon that is Indigo 2 on screen.
There's a few kites starting to come out. You can see a few of the boats will also be starting to get those bags ready to go.
Yep.
We are 20 minutes out from the start line, so all the crews will be definitely thinking. They'll be starting to look at the situation. We'll have a look at see where that tide flow is coming into.
That is another, looks like another TP52 just spinning up into the wind there at this moment. So one of the things I was just going to mention is that the different conditions, it's going to be reasonably downwind, we suspect, so they'll probably have quite large spinnakers up. Sometimes they can put on reacher sails or code zeros, but I'm expecting that we'll probably get the colourful sails up, the big spinnakers, and it'll be full noise. I'm expecting we'll see up to over 20 knots from Wild Thing will go out over 20 knots.
Very quickly, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we will struggle to keep up with them. I think they'll be quite quick off the line, and they will be beautiful sails. So if you're on the beach there, make sure you pop out and have a look.
Yeah.
As these guys get ready to put them up. Yep.
Oh. I think I've still got Nigel Abbott's phone in my ear. I can hear it. I don't know if you're getting that, but he's still pulling that mainsail up. I can hear the effort going in the background. I don't know if the listeners are getting that, but
one thing I will mention to you is Balancing Act. So I spoke to them during the week, and they should be out there getting organised. There's actually the Coral Sea Point Score, which is a number of races between RQ and Southport Yacht Club. So they are in contention for that this year. So they are really expecting a good result. And I said, unfortunately, they weren't able to compete in last year's race. So they've also got some unfinished business, like a few other boats this year.
Okay. What we've got a TP52 sitting on screen. We do have a discussion with our friends from V5, which of course you're very close to.
I have mentioned them a few times. They're also the Kiwi boat. They were here last year and they did very, very well. So I'll be really interested to see how they can compete again. They're probably one of my favourites to keep an eye out for.
Well, let's hear from them now.
Yeah, so the cruise had a 3 days break. I didn't do the Sydney to Gold Coast race. I did that race last year, but I missed out on this one last year, so I thought I'd hop on board and give it a go. Yeah, really excited. I'm originally from Yeppoon, Queensland, so I'm really excited to be sailing past my home waters again. Yeah, so she's a TP52. I believe she's the second hull ever built, so she's an older girl, modified canting keel. She's under 3 New Zealand owners now, so Brian Peterson's the third Kiwi owner. She's been over here in Australia since about this time last year. We did a few races up the coast and then back down to the Sydney to Hobart last year, which unfortunately we had to withdraw from, so we're trying to give it another crack again this year. It's pretty important. We don't have a whole lot of offshore racing or coastal racing happening in New Zealand at the moment, so to be setting up to do another Sydney to Hobart, coming over here and doing the coastal calendar is pretty necessary training for us. Yeah, Queensland's always got a good vibe going on, so it's very warm weather, beers are cold, everyone's super friendly, so happy to be back.
So that was good to hear from Ella on V5. The New Zealanders over here giving up the cold weather to come to this. I mean, it's a big sacrifice.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? I mean, we have a perfect day here. I can't fault the Gold Coast. They have actually put it on an absolute shiner. V5 missed out by 1 minute last year, so I really wish them all the best this year.
For those who like their history and know the TP52 class, that V5 is one of the original TP52s, so it's been around a long time. Originally designed, TP stands for Transpac, so that race across the Pacific is what's going on. So from a starting perspective, there's so much I can't quite make that vessel out. Sorry, with the darkness, but from a starting perspective and the race rules, how does it work?
So what will happen is the team everyone gets a 5-minute warning. So at 10:55, everyone will be told there'll be a sound signal and flags that go up, which will tell everyone that it's 5 minutes, just in case their watches aren't synced, which usually they would be. Then there'll be a countdown to 11 o'clock. Once that final flag is dropped, then everybody is good to go. There should be a mark sort of out off that Surfers Paradise area, so there'll be a start boat and a mark. Ideally, nobody's over that one, but the race committee will certainly be the first to tell you if you are over. And then it's just rules are keep Australia on the left and just keep going. Find some clear air. Yeah. Don't get yourself into trouble. I hope we don't have any damage or carnage this year, and everyone gets away clean.
What we've got on screen there is Employment Hero Alliance. That is a Della 32-1 design. That's a double-hander boat. So there's classes of people out there sailing the boats just with 2 people on board, which is like single-handed sailing, but being able to get some sleep. That's basically the rule.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
they will need to get it tonight.
They will need to get it tonight. So that's who we saw. That was AOS 26. And Tipperdees comes on screen. That boat has done both races so far and finished 3rd on line honours both times. So what do you reckon?
They will be a favourite this year, although Wild Oats is also going to give them a bit of a run for their money. It's probably one of the prettiest boats on the fleet. I do love the colour of it.
It's a lovely colour.
You can't miss it.
It's a little heavier. So there's our double-hander boat that's going across screen. Then just behind them, PC27, I had that one worked out before. That's Balancing Act, we were talking about before. That's Tony Cranner's boat. So does a lot of double-handed racing itself. But we're back on the Employment Hero Alliance. That is the Della 31 design. So that is placed second-hand in the Sydney to Gold Coast on the way up here on the double-handed division. So that thing's quite a pretty boat, like a very modern looking shape. I think it'll go pretty well downwind. I certainly wouldn't have any problems going on it. Another boat that normally races double-handed is a boat called Mistral, which is a late entry from overnight. Mistral just jumped in last night.
They did.
It's a Lombard 34. It's very much a boat that I love. They're racing 4 up, though, with this race, so they're not racing double-handed. But and there's our friends from Making Waves Foundation, Kale.
Wendy Tucker over there.
Yeah, so we've actually got a bit of a discussion with them as well. We might actually try and tee that up. But that is, the foundation is a foundation designed to give people opportunity, and they've helped thousands and thousands of people, and they take them out sailing, and this boat is one of the boats that's going to be doing it. So as you said, so the Making Waves Foundation.
It's a great opportunity. A lot of people don't get the opportunity to
Yeah.
go sailing unless you know somebody, and it's through the foundation they really manage to give people an opportunity to sail when they probably wouldn't necessarily get that chance to, and to experience what these sailors do quite frequently.
It's a Lions 54. It's basically their training vessel. So the foundation, part of their foundation program. If we've got that interview, we might just key that up, and we can just hear from them. But if not, we'll just keep going. This is a threat. The next, if we can get this one's a threat.
Yes, this one could be come out of the blind side.
This is Curb. Curb is owned by Brett Whitbread and his dad. They just won the Brisbane to Gladstone. It's a Curve 40. It definitely likes going downhill, going fast, as does Brett Whitbread. He is a natural-born hoon.
Yes, he is.
He's got a lot of young talent on board. And so he is definitely one to keep an eye out from the overall position. We've got 10 minutes to a start.
You can start to see they're all starting to put their head sails up as we count down to the time. That little Wild Oats 10 there that's got their head sail coming together.
Tell by the red shirts, that's a dead giveaway on the Wild Oats.
It's very iconic, isn't it?
It is iconic. Very talented crew on the Wild Oats. You can name just about half of the top pros in Australia on that. So, I mean, you got Albie Pratt on board, Alice Taranowski, one of the top navigators on board, Phil Harmer,
fly on the wall for her thoughts in this race today.
Hey?
I'd love to be a fly on the wall for her thoughts today to see which way she's going to tackle.
She knows what she's talking about. Grant Simmer, Chris Links. We just saw Gusto, another TP52, come on screen. So Gusto has just been bought. It's just been renamed. I think it was First Light before. We might be able to get out to our friend Hayden, who's just out there. But we're, as you said, we're about a few minutes away from the warning signal.
Across to me here, we got
so Hayden,
coming behind.
have you got us, my friend?
Yeah, got you there, Jordan. We got Warro behind us, Wild Thing 100. As you said, they're looking real light and fast for this morning's race. You can see swells up already. We've got the breeze on. They've got the full main ready to rip, but they've got a number of jib options on the foredeck. So there's a fair few boats that have put reefs in already, but a majority of the fleet's gone full gear. But it should be really good watching them come off the line.
Indeed, it should, my friend.
We got Curb upwind. We got Vixen just running the line.
Ooh, Vixen.
And
That'll be quick.
we got Curb just to windward, so I'm lucky enough I'll get to sail that in a few weeks' time up at Magnetic Island. So not to talk about myself too much, but yeah, it's looking like a real good session out here for a downwind start. So yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Hayden. One of the things I did notice when the Wild Thing went past, as Hayden pointed out, multiple head sails set up. They were triple head sail set up, I reckon, is what we're going to see off the start for them.
I suspect you're right. They're going to want to be able to take advantage of every bit of breeze that they can collect.
Yep.
It really is ideal for them, and they're not going to want to let any breeze get away without taking advantage of it. Interesting that some of the smaller boats might have been putting some reefs in. Again, it's a real balance to get the boat to sit properly, and sometimes having the full rig up doesn't actually make you fast. So it's interesting some of them have made that decision early. Mm-hmm. It might have come in later tonight.
So you can see the two inside jibs set up. So on Rollerford, so when the gun goes, they can just pull those out, and they haven't decided what they're putting up off the front on the bowsprit at this stage yet. The Vixen, Hayden mentioned Vixen in that little throw there. So Sharon Ferris-Coate, she's done everything, this young lady.
She really has, and she's, like I said, been a very very prominent in the sailing world, and she's done a lot of also solo racing. So it's they're going to be being such a wide boat. I mean, they're probably they should also perform very quick downwind.
It's an open 40. So the open 40s are designed to just cross oceans and go fast. And so it's the absolute perfect conditions for them. Power reaching is what they love. Same as this thing. This thing will enjoy power probably broader than power reaching, but that's exactly what that one was set up for. There, coming up next in shot is the Mistral.
Yes.
Boat number 1. This is the boat that I love. Me and my brother talk about this boat all the time. Very, very talented sailing group on this. As I said, it's predominantly been double-handed sailing with Rupert Henry and Greg O'Shea, but they're going 4 up, as you can see. But this thing is very much designed to go fast, and it'll go downwind very, very quickly for a little tiny boat. It's a 34-foot long. It has Rupert Henry, you know, he's done the transatlantic, the Route de Rum. He's done the
Trans-Tasman Yacht Race.
Trans-Tasman. He won the Melbourne Osaka in 2018.
Yes.
Very
lot of legacy there, a lot of history.
Yep. So that's a cool boat.
He's one of your favourites. I think you'll be waiting. See how they go today.
It's in my price range. But he's there with the lean on. So this is a little heavier. So this is a California design. They're a Santa Cruz 72. They're designed to race downwind in trade winds, exactly like what we've got here. It's an older design. That boat has done a huge amount of campaigning around the world. It's probably a little heavier than some of the more modern designs, but it is absolutely designed to go downwind in strong trade winds.
And they'll really enjoy tonight as that breeze increases. Being a little heavier, a bit more breeze will definitely work in their favour. Absolutely.
We're just coming into the starting sequence now. So as you said before, Danielle, 5 minute for the warning gun, 4 minute is the preparatory signal, and then you'll get a 1 minute signal, and then you'll go on 0. So
11 o'clock start.
11 o'clock start. That countdown is getting close. Everything's getting nervous, and then we're going to explode into racing. We're probably done for all our crosses.
Everyone should be looking now. Now they should have a pretty good idea. The start boat will be set, and so will the mark on the other end. So everyone will know where they are. You should start to see them. They're going to start lining up in the box just behind the start line. We're just over 4 minutes to the start. They'll all have their head sails up, and most of them should have their kites ready to go.
Yeah.
All their tacticians should have a pretty good plan about where they want to position their boat, being on the start line end or down on the buoy end.
So you can see in screen there's an orange boat. That's not the start boat. Oh, we've just come off screen, but that was the line. So one end of the line is the white committee boat with all the flags on the back of it, and then the other end of the line is a yellow cube. So that little white committee boat that's just near the bottom of the screen, and then there's a little barging orange mark, and then right down the other end towards the Gold Coast, you'll see a yellow cube. As you were saying, Daniel, most of them will go down towards that bottom end of the line, what we call the pin end of the line, near the shore, and come up, because then they can just turn away and accelerate and not risk being over the line too early. So you can see Southport Yacht Club there. We've got our start signals up. So orange means on station. Then the blue Gold Coast City Marina flag is looks like that's our P flag's up as well. So we're starting under a P flag, the blue border with a white square in the middle. So we're under 4 minutes to a start. That P flag will come down as 1 minute goes.
Correct.
So P flag means that if anyone's over the line, they can just dip back behind the line. They don't have to go around the ends. They don't have to suffer a penalty. So we're under a P flag start. That's important.
It is important to know. Hopefully no one's early, which is definitely not the plan. You're always better to be a little bit late than early. And the smaller boats don't want to be buffeted. They don't want to get stuck behind a bigger boat. You don't want to end up in a big wind shadow, which with some of the big sail areas that they can hide behind. But I just love the day. I'm a bit jealous that we're in here. And like I said, it's a stunner of a day out there with the Gold Coast behind us.
I tell you what, Hayden's going to get a sore bum because they're going to be going full speed to try and keep up with some of these front boats.
I wish him luck, actually. It's going to be a very bumpy ride
to get up
to the front once that flag drops.
So we will expect, you can expect Wild Thing to be well over 20 knots. I think, what's your boat record on your boat, the little 40-footer you had?
We brought about 16 knots, again, in very similar conditions. We did the Surf to City in that race.
Yep.
So, you were on board with us at that race.
Yes. I was encouraging you guys hard, wasn't I? I think.
And we pushed her pretty hard.
Yep.
So, about 16, 17 knots was about as fast as we got.
Whereas we could see Wild Thing hitting 30 plus.
Absolutely. It's definitely well within their capabilities, and I think they'll be at the top of Cape Morton very quickly.
The other thing to take into note is, for winning the race on IRC, there's different rating systems. So IRC is where a rating system where all the boats are equated based on their hull shapes and their sail area and what they carry on board. PHS is it's a rating based on crew performance, so they look at the historical performance of the crew, and then overall, first over the line. But the winner of the race, the winner of the trophies, the winner of all the chocolates is the IRC person. So what we're looking at is the boats that rate well, and the TP52s rate extremely well in just about any course. So the TP52s are in consideration. Black Diamond.
You can see them all lining up there. We've just got 20 seconds to our start.
There we go.
There we go.
Yep.
So they're all starting to line up. They should be in their sort of final positions.
They've given the line plenty of space at the moment, haven't they?
They've
got at least 4 boats. They're turning down now. Some of our lead boats are turning down. Spinnakers are going to go up.
Kites should start to be seen very shortly.
We reckon with 5 seconds to go. You can see the bit of shaking and flogging of sails. That is as they set their new downwind sails, and bang, there goes the gun. We are underway. Flags are down. So it looks like everyone's behind the line. I feel like it's a clear start.
I feel like it's a very clear start for the third running of our Gold Coast City Marina Gold Coast and Mackay race, and they're all out. Look at us go!
I love it. So we got the big sails, and as we talked about we wouldn't see codes here, we'd see more like spinnakers, and that's exactly what's popping up on all the boats. You can start to see that popping up there. So the TP's just taking off. That looks like Wild Oats 10. That's got a nice, beautiful asymmetric. It's perfectly run. I saw Squark from North Sails on board there, and he is very comfortable on this boat. Look at that. That thing
it looks
is
sensational with their
smoke. We look downwind. So the first on underway at full noise is Wild Oats 10. The best start of the fleet, I would suggest.
I would say that was an incredible start. Well done.
So this is the crew. A lot of the crew are actually on the Wild Oats 11, which has won many line honours and won the Sydney Hobart many times. And they're automatic. It's automatic for those guys. And the speed is incredible. That boat's just taken off a Rykel Pew 66. It could be very much. It won't. I don't think it's a threat for line honours.
No, I don't think. No,
I've actually seen their numbers, and I reckon they're going to finish around 2:30 in the morning on Saturday morning. And
I think that's where they'll be for the next day and a half.
Just sitting on the boat.
Sitting on the boat exactly as is.
It's your dream. They're just sitting in, no legs over the side, and the boat's flat and going. And you can see Wild Oats.
Wild Thing. There's a 100-footer.
On screen. Yes, thank you. Starting to accelerate.
Stunning picture of her as she heads up. You can see the beach.
So she just hasn't quite got up to speed yet. So Wild Oats definitely up to speed. That thing is right on. That is just, imagine
Look at
having
the bow
that for
wave
the
on
next
the front
40
of it.
hours.
Yeah.
So come up from Sydney, and they'll be heading all the way up to Hamilton Island Race Week, and they are absolutely cooking with gas.
Yeah.
You can just see that.
Beautiful bow wave coming in as they should start to pick up a little of that southerly swell out there with the wave behind them, and they'll really start to surf downwind. That is sailing at its best. It really is.
Yep, absolute dream. So Phil Harmer and Paul McGee are the two. Phil listed as the skipper, Paul McGee also skipper on board that thing. Phil has done multiple Volvo Ocean Race around the world events. And now we've crossed back to the Wild Thing. So we'll stick with the faster boats initially for the viewers who want to see the whole fleet, because they're going to disappear out of range. So we'll play with that. So we're back on to the Wild Thing. So there is a logic to it, and we'll work our way back through the fleet to try and give you great coverage. But you can see the speed. If you look at the wake off the back of the boat, that gives you some sense of what speed they're doing. It looks easy speed on the Wild Thing to me.
It looks very comfortable. They are coming up to speed now, so that they look very, very comfortable. I'd say they're not going to change much of a little bit of trim on the way up, but I'd say that's how they're going to see.
Oh, there's a camera off screen that the viewers can't see, which is the boat that Hayden's on, and they're trying to chase up, and it looks uncomfortable for them.
It's very wet. We're getting a lot of splash and a lot of water around.
The Wild 8's just charging along there. So there's a lot of research and thought going into that sail package, So one of the great shots. Oh, there's a great shot. Look at that. We look back on the fleet from behind.
And you can see all the coloured kites for everybody.
Yep.
It looks amazing. So Wild Thing is also usually based here on the Gold Coast.
Yep.
And they are also sponsored by our Line Honours major sponsor, the Dalbora Gold Coast City Marina. So you should see that on their boat. They were also out of the water not that long ago, getting a little bit of maintenance done before they head off on their trip north.
Yep. Well, the Gold Coast City Marina also sponsors the Perpetual Trophy for Line Honours as well. So,
correct.
It's at the moment.
Wild Thing will definitely be in. Well,
you'd have to
all things going to plan.
Yep.
They should be the first boat into Mackay for the welcome party.
So I can see the debate going on Wild Thing at the moment. They've got the kite up, the big Janara out, and then I know exactly the conversation that's going on. Should we put that staysail?
Should we put that staysail in? Yep, it's sitting there ready to go. So there's definitely a debate about if it's going to help or hinder if they bring it out. I suspect it may come out.
Absolutely. I know my great mate Michael James, if he was on the boat, he'd be going, pull it out, more, just keep going until everything explodes.
More.
Yeah, yep.
They say that they make speed while you can. You might as well take advantage of these pristine conditions here on the Gold Coast.
So IRC, the overall winner of the event, wins the Matthew Belcher IRC Perpetual Trophy. So Matty Belcher, obviously one of the greats of Australian sailing, many times gold medalist at the Olympics. It's one of our TP52s, just zooming along on screen, and we're back to the Wild Thing. Then ORC is Colin Metcher, Perpetual Trophy, and then PHS is Rob Mundell, Perpetual Trophy. So Rob, obviously, great communicator, does this stuff.
He does, yeah. He's been doing this for many, many years, and it was fantastic.
The Daniel Hutchison Perpetual Trophy one day?
Oh, I'd like to think so one day.
Oh, nice.
One day.
Nice.
They do a local race here. Julian Rocks, I used to be very fond of.
Right in front of screen there, at the white kite with the red panels is Curb. Just charging along, looks like V5 with the green kite just to leeward, and then I'm guessing that's Antipodes just to the next one along. So that is just a wonderful, wonderful shot. Curb would be absolutely lightening it up. So a 40-footer right next to a 52-footer next to a 72-footer.
You'd be very happy to be in that next bunch. I said you'd be very happy to be up there. And the trick will be keeping up that speed and keeping them as close as you can.
Yeah, that was.
Everyone looks very happy on that.
Yep. All these boats look happy. That was Antipodes on the shot with the blue kite as well. So that's Gusto. So another TP52. So as I said, the Gusto recently came into the hands of its owner there. So ex-First Light. It's done fairly well. Lee Hawksley's just taken it on board. So that thing is charging along. We've got quite a fleet of boats there. So the TP's all in shot.
And they're the ones that will compete, as you're saying, about the IRC trophy, because they do rate exceptionally well. It's actually a great thing about this race that it is starting to attract a lot of the TPs out of Sydney or New South Wales, and they should be loving these conditions.
You'd be crazy to you're beautiful. You're wearing T-shirts in winter and you're racing downwind in 20 knots. Antipodes.
Where else would you rather be? Really?
Exactly. Antipodes looks fantastic. So we talked about how this boat is designed for these exact conditions, strong trade wind running, and it looks very happy doing that. You can see how you know, that boat was designed to sail to Hawaii like that. It's just the same, sailing up to Mackay, another paradise, this time in Australia. Gusto there on shot. And
these guys will have a really quite I think that the TPs will be keeping an eye out for each other. They should be quite close by the time we get to Mackay. And sort of comparing, it'll be interesting to see again if they're going to head out and try and pick up some of that tidal flow, especially around the top of Kagari, or if they're going to stay in close and tuck in.
So for the viewers, if you do go out further out to sea, the tide actually, you've got the east coast current running north to south, but if you go out a few miles, there's actually a reverse current going back up.
Correct.
And so it might be very appealing to head out to sea. That's, in all honesty, that's what I'd be thinking of doing.
If you can get across the East Australian current, if you can get across there is quite a nice one. Yeah, right up Kagari, and it should shoot you straight into Mackay, which I suspect that some of these boats will take that option, and the TPs are definitely ones to keep an eye on.
Pretty sure that's Touche 42 that we just had in shot there before. So, and they're
a local boat. Greg Watson also sailed against him here. He's done a lot of racing. Yep. Very competitive, and another one just definitely to keep an eye on. Great crew from Southport.
So this is Miu, the Cure 55, the catamaran that you can see in shot. They've got a reef in. And then a smaller spinnaker, sort of 3/4 spinnaker. So they're not going to stress themselves by the looks of it. Just have an absolute ball. It's a dream on a catamaran. Like, it's easy miles. That looks like a roller furling kite as well.
Very, very comfortable. They still they're making good ground.
Well, that's right. Easy miles.
Easy miles. I suspect. I'd love to know. They've probably got like lunch going on, something beautiful. I'll sit down.
Exactly.
Very, very comfortable.
Yes, I am a convert. It's exactly what it's like. You can go and make your gin and tonic and you know, have the roast come out of the oven. It's all pretty good. Antipodes there. It's an easy one to spot. It just perfectly balanced. And
they've also got their staysail on there as well. So just using as much sail air as they can to keep their speed up.
Exactly right. So from Hong Kong, this is the joy of this event is that they're going to be like this, exactly like this, which is your dream conditions for the next 30, 40 hours.
Correct.
It's just...
This is almost set and forget. They'll all that everybody will be...
Set and forget.
Don't do that. You won't. That is not a way to win the race. But they'll all set that they'll be sitting
pretty. Vixen racing. Now this is a little open 40. This thing is designed to smoke downhill as well. Nice wide stern, exactly for this. So as we said before the race, solo Trans-Tasman line honours winner in the multi-hole. First woman to compete in that solo race since 2014. So Sharon, she's very much done quite a bit of racing. So you look at that wide delta shape. This boat is designed to go very, very fast, and so those conditions would be great. We can try out for Hayden and see what he's saying. Have you got us there, Hayden, at all?
Got you. I hope you got me. It's a bit wet out here, but look, that was a cracking start. We've copped a few waves over the front, but that's what you're going to love about being out here. It's definitely looking good for Wild Oats, just because Wild Thing doesn't have that screecher up yet. But those TPs, nice and close together, full main, and then we're working back through to like the curb and tippities like you've been talking about. Interesting Miu, because nice and light, Q55. Just gone first reef and then a fractional kite. So, and they're charging through. They're going to have a pretty comfy sail down the coast. So, I wonder what's going to be on the dinner table tonight. Probably a nice roast or spaghetti. So that'd be my pick if you were to ask what boat I was going to take. But yeah, we've got another boat coming up behind us here, the Bright Orange Kite. Hayden. But you probably just saw Indigo 2 in the background, but who have we got here? Is this Black Diamond? Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah.
I think they're a little bit late to the start.
Right.
They're a little late to the start, but look, they're gonna wind a few boats in pretty quickly at this rate. So
I'll pan
I
back
suspect
into
Glenn will be
Hayden.
very happy on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, look
thanks,
at him go.
Thanks,
They're
Hayden.
looking pretty tidy.
Black Diamond is absolutely sliding along. You can see Sarah with that orange spinnaker and a staysail, and she when she gets on the plane, she just keeps going and going. So that
You can see every now and again they pick up a nice wave of that they can surf down the front of.
So
which
interesting they
he'll
missed
be
the
really
start
enjoying.
though.
It did seem to be a little bit slow. It did seem to not be up there as quick as I would have thought.
Yeah. So, but from an enjoyment perspective, once they get going with the waves and get
into that rhythm.
swell
Once
behind them,
they get
they're
into
just gonna
that
go
rhythm,
faster and faster and faster.
you'll
And-
find that some of these boats will be right up to be the same wind speed as same boat speed as wind speed. And you can see some of them really starting to lift as the waves come up from the south and give them a little shovel forward.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see another TP52 and a trimaran right next to each other. That's an interesting shot, and the powerboat in the background just racing along, trying to go as quick as possible. So that trimaran, quite stable, smaller rig, but in front of the TP. Then it looks like it's just trailing. So Miyu is the orange kite in front, I reckon, the catamaran, the Cure55. Trimaran's a very efficient way of travelling because they're kind of almost the perfect sort of combination. They go upwind quite well.
You can see where that hull's just out of the water.
This is the interesting part about ocean racing is, should we put this sail up? Should we try this sail? You know, like you can see that sort of happens, I reckon.
And there's always a conversation and a debate to say, do we put our staysail up or are we going to take that one down? Do we keep Genoa up? There was a fractional kite that went up.
Yep.
We're trying to get the perfect balance. It's your own boat. Do you want to have a maximum speed? Does not always equal maximum sail area. Sometimes it's like generating the perfect balance to give you your optimum speed.
Power versus drag.
Correct.
Yep.
That's right. And it's a little balance, and every boat will be a little bit different in how they set it up to make sure that they're hitting their optimum speeds in today's conditions.
So this is the third running of the Gold Coast City Marine Gold Coast to Mackay, the baby of Glenn Burrell, who is the owner of Black Diamond that's scooting along before with the orange spinnaker that we talked about. It's perfect conditions. It's a dream. So I'm hoping there's a lot of people sitting around Australia and the world looking at this footage and just going, wow, why aren't we not there? Because this is what the whole race is going to be like, except slightly windier.
Correct. And I think it'd be amazing to see, these are the days and these are the races that we all look forward to. We've always had a bad day or weather that hasn't been perfect. And like the last three runnings of this race have been, it's been ideal conditions. Everyone out there will be in sun shirts and it's downwind sailing, which is one of the best types of sailing that we have.
The other thing, of course, is, as we said, we joked at the start, you basically go from the start and keep Australia to the left. There's a couple of islands that they're going to go past, so North Stratty, and there's a couple of little rock shelves out there that stick up. So if you do try to stick close to the shore, there's a few little things you can hit if you stay too close.
Getting into Mackay, you've got to get around sort of Lady Elliot, Lady Musgrave.
Yep.
There are quite a few little islands out there. It's the start of the Great Barrier Reef.
Yep.
So your navigators will need to be on their toes, making sure where they are. The skeds will also keep the skippers in. Everyone will know where they are. During the race, they'll have to sign in with the race committee just to make sure that everything's A-OK and that they're still travelling and competing in the race.
Yeah. So obviously we're sort of the boats have taken off quite quickly, so I'm not sure how much more that we've got. But
so it always amazes me how we have ended up with the 25-boat fleet today, and already at nearly only 15 minutes into the race, you've got everybody spread out so quickly.
Well, Balancing Act on screen there at the moment, which is Tony Cranner's boat, so one of the local boats that you know quite well. Balancing Act is a J99. So again, another boat that would go very well in these conditions. Designed for this, American design, but designed to sail downwind. It's I think won the double-handed vision for the Brisbane to Capital a few times. So
correct, yes, and they are also competing in that Coral Sea point score, which includes the flat rock and Julian and Rocks race here. So it's a combined series between Southport Yacht Club and Royal Queensland Yacht Squadron. So they are competing in that one, and they are looking for points to contribute to that. This one's AlphaTauri. I remember last year. It's a Hick 39. I want it back to
we're
balancing
on
act now.
Here's an interesting thing. So you can see here, the boat's got an asymmetrical. So that's AlphaTauri that's back on screen, and that boat it goes quite well. So they've done pretty well. Known to be a bit of a wet ride. She's not necessarily an offshore boat, but been converted, but has a few cruising elements into it, but
very comfortable. She will enjoy this downwind race.
Yep.
Wayne Kirby is the owner and skipper of this one, who's also the vice commodore of Southport Yacht Club. So that boat's been probably in the Southport Yacht Club family for many years. And I wish them all the best heading downwind. Can be a bit of a wet boat. But hopefully if they keep it downwind, most of them will stay dry.
Well, one of the reasons they're going so fast, Danielle, of course, is that there's a fabulous party schedule set up in Mackay. So the Mackay Race Village is going to open up from 12 o'clock on July 31st. And there's going to be live music at Sales Sports Bar. There'll be presentations for the Lion Honours, and then there's going to be presentations and race trophy presentations later on in the week. There's special breakfasts. They've got the Race Village markets, radio DJs up there, live music, all sorts of different things. So there's plenty of opportunity to go and have a bit of fun if you're into this.
Mackay is really putting it on for them. They have in the last couple of years, and the parties that they hear from, the party that they put on, I think everyone is going to be in quite a hurry to get up there. We've got a few boats here, including Wild Oats 10, who also heard of these infamous parties, arrival party. So I suspect they will be eager to get there as well. It's a fantastic welcome once you get into Mackay, and there is a lot going on. It's a fantastic way to sort of continue with the northern races into Ellie Beach Race Week and obviously Hamilton Island Race Week, which is a big one in Australia.
So obviously Gold Coast City Marinas is the principal sponsor of the event. Our gold sponsors are Mackay Regional Council, doing an amazing job supporting this event, Hamilton Island, and the Mackay Marina Village. There are silver sponsors including Hit FM, the Grain Ports or Bulk Ports, Capricorn, Sales Sports Bar, Discover Mackay, the Serena Sugar Shed, the Deck.
Keep an eye out for them. I think they last year rumours had it that they just about drank the Sugar Shed dry.
Wow!
These bunch of sailors, so watch out for them.
So race partners and supporters are creating a great event. As you said, going to Mackay is going to be a ton of fun. The sailing's going to be great, and they're all going to arrive happy. So it does bode very well for a great, enjoyable regatta. This is a good event.
It's good to see it improving. I'd love to see that we could have twice the fleet next year, and I've no doubt that with the footage that we've got at the moment, all these boats having a fantastic sail. The welcome party on Tuesday was fantastic. A little bit of trouble there. It looks of trimming
they're
there.
Flogging a kite there. I'm not sure if they did an accidental jibe or they've changed something, but it's not going well. So one of the problems here is that the main's trying to drive them upwind. They need to pop a bit of vang. See, they're doing what's called a broach there. They've just broached and they haven't been able to recover from that broach. There goes the vang on the main. You saw the leech got loose then.
And that's one of the tricky things. I said set and forget before, but that's what happens if you do set and forget. The wind will start to shift. We are expecting it to to move out to the east as the day goes on. So it will be important that your trimmers do pay attention and they're onto those small little changes. The other thing is you can also get bumped from a wave behind you. So if you're not expecting a wave or someone isn't calling them for you, sometimes you'll sort of they can throw the boats off kilter. They're all very, very delicately balanced at this point. Very, very stable, very delicately balanced.
Well,
but
they're still in trouble. I can tell the viewers that. There's 3 ways to steer a boat, and there's a couple of things that they were doing wrong on that one. So they need to come into my coaching program, and I can give them a bit of
give them a few pointers.
It's
pointers. Much easier to figure it out from here, I can tell you, than when you're on the boat.
Yeah, so look at the wake just coming off those boats. They look just amazing, don't they? It's just so cool to be out there. So the other thing...
I'm a little bit jealous. This is the downside, is that you see these and they are beautifully trimmed.
That is Vixen Racing in the closest boat there. So that 40-footer, that looks like a TP just to windward. The 40-footer next to a 12-foot longer boat just smoking along.
That's very impressive.
Yeah. And that's got to be Black Diamond, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep. So the Black Diamond fully under control, crew stacked. So see how they've got the boat dead flat. Very hard to broach when your boat's flat.
And everyone's stacked. You can see everyone's stacked on the windward side there, just to help to give them that ideal balance, and make the helmsman's job nice and easy.
That's exactly right. Make the helmsperson's job nice and easy. And so there's nice control, just the front luff of that kite, just flicking just ever so gently. That staysail not over trimmed, so that's perfect. Everything looking pretty good on that boat. I can't criticise that one.
Or Glenn Burrell, he's very good at what he does. He's had a lot of practice.
So the next thing then is just to start connecting waves. So that comes down to helming. So what you're trying to do, again, if I'm going to sound like a coach, but what you're trying to do is keep your average speed high. It's not your peak speed. You want to just keep that average speed, and it's called apparent wind sailing. So you want to actually connect the pressure, and as the pressure drops, you need to come up gently. All your manoeuvres are going to be gentle and just consistent flow over the sails, and keep that boat consistently at a high speed. That's the secret to winning. That boat looks really, really, really good. They're not going to get in trouble at all. They're a long way from being in trouble. They're really well set up.
The trick is you've just got to do it for the next couple of days. Consistency, like I said, consistent boat speed. That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's the secret. This is the man who, as we said before, it was his idea, this race. He must be very proud and zooming out there. We did try to cross to him before in the coverage and have a chat. He had to go. He couldn't hear us, unfortunately. It's a shame. We wanted to hear from him. We did hear from him on Tuesday at the briefing, so it was really good to hear again. See, this has been his little baby, and he has been working on this for a number of years, and the fleet is growing. So I do encourage anyone from anywhere across the world really to come and join us here on the Gold Coast and do this race, because you're not going to get racing any better than what we have here today. I can tell you that boat that we were discussing having a broach is still in trouble. They've dropped the spinnaker now and they're head to wind. We're coming up on Alphatari. You can tell by the Gold Coast City Marina spinnaker on that. They've got a reef in their main.
Comes again back to balance. Sometimes having more sail area doesn't necessarily mean you have more boat speed. So it is a light boat. All the skiff sailors out there are going, more sail area, more sail area. They're all listening to you going, no, Daniel, we want more. Power it up. It's more power. It's the Jeremy Clarkson thing. It is, yes. Yep. Go. Yep. More RPMs. Yeah. That's it. And you can see a little bit of swell roll, so the side on, the waves catching them side on a little bit, so that you want to steer down as that wave hits you and take the run with it. They're trying to work out, I'm guessing they're trying to work out of the top of this current. They're trying to move across the waves. Yeah, you would like to think that somebody on board would also be, we tend to always focus forward, but hopefully somebody is also looking behind. And with that developing swell that comes, if you can capitalise on your speed and pick up a wave, surf down a wave and get a little bit of bonus, a couple of knots, that would definitely help. We do have 520 nautical miles to cover. So if you can just, any bit of help you can get, and if the ocean's going to do it for you, yeehaw. Yeah, so 520 nautical miles translates to a bit over 900 kilometres. It's a long way.
It's a long
Especially
way.
under wind. There's no power involved in this, so
Yeah,
just by wind is very impressive.
which makes it fantastic, I reckon. I'm just trying to. I can't work that vessel out. It's just. Oh, Hutchies,
yeah, baby. Andy.
Oh, of
Andy
course, I should
Lemont.
have picked up on that one.
Another Gold Coast Southport Yacht Club boat. Andy's been racing for a long time here at the Yacht Club. He has had, it hasn't made it for a couple of years, had a few dramas, but they are looking very, very good there with their staysail up too.
Yeah, that boat's had some stories, that started life as Heaven Can Wait, I think, and then got a bigger hull put on this underneath the same deck. It's been rebirthed a few times, and now it's racing as Hutchie's Yeah Baby, and he does all the events around Queensland. He definitely
he's very prominent. He's got a great crew. He did a little bit of the stuff sort of solo and double-handed by himself, but now he's back to a fully crewed boat. Like I said, he would definitely be looking for a win to add to his cupboard. I know he's got a few in there as well.
Yeah. So as I said, 50 foot. It's a well-born 50, looking to go. There's our friends from Making Waves Foundation, Kale. So that's the Lions 54. There are different sort of shapes and hulls that are here. Now, some of the hull shapes don't suit. They're better going upwind.
Some of them are, and that's the compromise when you have a boat. Some of them are more upwind, some of them more downwind. This particular race is similar to the Brisbane to Gladstone, and it's traditionally a downwind race, which is tailored to those downwind boats, which is also where the IRC rating sort of kind of measures everyone out, so sort of balances everyone out to give us the overall winner.
This one will go pretty well downwind. It's not too slow. Most of the boats in the fleet are well suited for going downwind. There's a few that are more upwind downwind. So Wild Oats 10, for example, is perfect upwind downwind sort of boat. There's like Fontana, which is the Swan 40, that would love heavy upwind conditions.
If that breeze comes in later today, which we hope we sort of get to that 20, maybe 25 as they head further north, and as the day progresses, you're right, they will really enjoy a bit more breeze, considering they're a little heavier.
That looks like a Sydney 38, so I'm guessing that's Clockwork.
I do love a little Sydney 38.
Yep.
My first boat was a Sydney 32.
Oh, yeah, they're great design, weren't they?
They are. And they have a big one design fleet in Sydney.
Yep.
But they are a light boat, so they will, again, really enjoy these conditions if it doesn't get too breezy as the day goes on.
I can see SA on the bow there, so I'm pretty certain that is our friends from Clockwork. It's not on screen at the moment. You've got my ugly head on screen, but that's the
We
boat
are here at the beautiful Southport Yacht Club, which is our home club. So everyone was down here this week, and everyone has been berthed here prior to this race, which is, I think they've been very well looked after here at Southport.
Yeah, so the course is, and there's Clockwork now. The course is Sydney to Southport, and then a couple of days break, and then the Gold Coast to Mackay. So this is the Gold Coast City Marine, Gold Coast to Mackay. So South Australian crew that have come in to try and participate in this event. It's a lot warmer up here than South Australia at the moment, but
they've made the annual migration north.
Yeah,
I'd like to see some more South Australia boats come, but they're setting a great example.
Yeah, well, there's a few starting to come. So I was just having a look at a few of the boats. I see FOMO from South Australia is coming up for Hamo Race Week. So
next year we'll have to make sure that they pop in to see us and join in this race.
So I'll have words with Mr. Carlin Howard, the owner of that boat, and make sure that he does attend this event. But yeah, the Clockwork South Australian crew doing very well. Conditions sailing up the Gulf can often be a little closer and choppier than this, so this would be quite comfortable for the South Australians. You know, the water's warmer,
it's
not as choppy. Definitely
if they stay in close, they may run into a bit of strife because the tides will get bigger.
Yep.
So as everyone heads north into the Great Barrier Reef, you end up with some bigger tides. But as you get inside the Barrier Reef, often the swell drops down a little because you've obviously got the reef that starts to protect you up there. So as they move north, there's not a lot of islands. So further down south, but you will have Lady Musgrave and a few Great Keppel, those islands there that you will have to navigate round on their way north.
Speaking of tide, it's a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
So the full moon means a lot of tidal movement. So just to emphasise, doubly emphasise that point of yours, that yes, we can expect large tides. It's been a perfect conditions for a race start, perfect conditions for a race. They're racing from our beautiful Southport up to the lovely Mackay. There's a great big party they're heading into. It's paradise for these people at the moment. So sailing up here in Queensland is just perfect, heading into the Mackay district. It looks like we're on for a race record.
Absolutely, I definitely think that we've got line honours definitely, and we've got quite a good few contenders for the IRC trophy as well.
So if you were wanting to keep watching, there's the tracker. You can go to the Gold Coast, sitting at the Gold Coast to Mackay website, and there is a live tracker where you can track this throughout the event. So we're about to finish up. We're about to hang up the mics and go and have a cold drink. But enjoy
I will have the tracker on because like I said I'm very curious to see where we all end up in the next couple of days.
So we're forecasting Wild Thing will be in around 7-ish Friday night. We're forecasting Wild Oats 10 around 2:30 in the morning on Saturday morning. So it'll be a battle. Remember, they're racing for line honours and IRC and PHS. We wish everyone the best of time. Hope they get some great whale viewing, some great sailing, and some great...
Avoid the whales, though. Enjoy the whales, but don't go too close.
But thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you to all the crew from Down Under Sail who put on this event and coverage for you. Thank you, Southport Yacht Club, for hosting us, and all the people around us that are making funny faces at us while we're trying to commentate. But it's been an absolute joy, and enjoy the rest of the racing, and cannot
Fair
wait
winds
to
to
see
everybody when they get to Mackay.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.